They won't. Read it. Oh, shit, there it is. Steroids will not fix you. Let's talk about it. Why aren't more people talking about this is the real answer. So we'll give people a minute, and then we'll rant. I was just talking about this on my stories, doing some cardio. Hey, Coach Nick, I'm just going to come on here and rant about how steroids will not fix all of your problems. I just talked about it on my story. I got some cardio to kill for this prep. I just had a good meal. I'm feeling good. But Veronica's here. Good. Veronica, I just sent you a DM. I don't know if you got back to that. Anyway, Trend saved my life. Thanks. Kicking it off with a bang. I love it. No, but in all seriousness, though, I'm sick and tired of just feeling like everybody, because I get this question a lot. Should I take Trend? Should I take this? How about you track your macros for a bit? How about you follow a program for a bit? How about you pull back on the booze and actually get some good sleep? Like, there's a lot of questions to ask before just hopping on some shit, because honestly, you have to be realistic with the expectations. Like, I thought that taking it, I was going to be a superhero. You know, the effects that it was going to give me, it's just not the truth. You know, and I think a lot of us have these very unrealistic expectations for what it's going to do. It's something to talk about. You know, so I'll give people a minute to tune in. What's up, Brian? How you doing? What's up? What's up? Maybe I just come on here and sing with you guys. What's that quote from Elf? And he's like, I'm in the shower and I'm singing. Just when you think like your problems matter, they just don't, man. I don't know. It's just very freeing. Just like take the pressure off yourself, man. I don't know. I know I came on here to talk about juice, but I was waiting for some people to tune in to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But where are the people at, man? What's going on? Because maybe 3 o'clock isn't the most ideal time. I haven't paid attention to that. 11 o'clock seems to be the time. And it's interesting to think about that, because I wonder if it's like people kind of come into work, work for 2 hours, and then they want to go on lunch, so they kind of just have some time, chill out. We'll see. Let's see how I'm doing on steps here. Still not 8,000. I feel like I've been on here for days. Try and save my life. Can I remove that comment? I don't think you can. Fuck. Jaworskinate. What's up? Christina Sanchez. How are you? Who here goes to the gym? Drop a yes in the comments. Do you guys work out? Is that something you guys do? If so, let me know. We're talking about the juice, man, the sauce. You can see the comment there. I personally use anabolics. I have some experience with that. I've worked with some of the best fitness coaches in the space. I'm a competitive bodybuilder myself, and I'm here to talk about this and maybe help educate you guys a little bit. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not a doctor. I am not somebody that is going to prescribe you anything. This is not medical advice. This is simply just a conversation and my experience. So you take that for which you choose. So again, I like to engage with you guys. So if you are here, let me know if you're somebody who is in the gym, Jaworskinator. For those who don't know, I am a full-time coach. I have been running my coaching business now for almost 5 years. You can check it out over on my Instagram. I've worked with hundreds of clients all over the world. Super thankful to have said that. I'm actively competing. Be back on stage November 9th. November 9th, we're Getting jacked and juicy. Toy093. Rousseau, what's up? Are you in the gym? Let me know. Talking about the juice. Because the reason I'm thinking about, I should say thinking about sharing this, the reason that I am talking about this is because I've gotten this question over and over again. Should I take this? Should I do this? It is all contextual based on the person, right? So if you're contemplating the idea of taking anabolics, I would put it back to you and ask you why. What is the purpose behind it, right? Russo, are you in the gym? Let me know, brother. Have you ever thought about taking anabolic steroids? Has it ever crossed your mind? I mean, let's just be honest, man. You know, as a dude, everyone talks about it. Everyone thinks about it. I actively use, I am living it, I am doing it, and I wanted to share my thoughts and experiences with you guys so you can make better decisions on these. On my way there right now. Awesome, bro. So let me share this with you, okay? Because I get this question a lot. Should I take this? Trend, Anavar, Deca, Winstrol, testosterone, Masteron. There's so many things. What do you do? Does it make sense for you? And here's the reality. It's about the questions that you're asking yourself. Hey, Joy. Like, think of it this way. Actually, I have a video coming out maybe next week about this, right? If I take this cup and I poke a bunch of holes in it, there's a bunch of holes in the cup. It doesn't matter how much liquid I pour into that cup, it will continue to leak, correct? So if that's the case, wouldn't it make more logical sense to then patch the holes to fill the cup so the water doesn't leak? Yes, but follow me. This visual that I'm trying to make is a lot of us think that you're the cup and we have all these holes, and you think that taking steroids is going to fix that. But if you don't fix the holes, the water will continue to leak out. So think of this the same way. You could take Trend, testosterone, Masteron, Primo, whatever. You could take all of those things. But if you don't have a good foundation of nutrition, training, sleep, cardio, all of the basics, stress, hormones, you're still not going to look as good. And then you're opening yourself up to all of those potential side effects and risks that sometimes, depending on the person, based on their genetics, because everybody responds differently, may be irreversible. Now, again, I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just my experience. I'm actively learning. I'm actively taking a course. I have a coach myself. I'm actively competing. I'm really tired of hearing people say that if I took this, I would look like that. And that is just not the reality of the situation. Because there's a lot of people in the space that take extracurricular supplements, anabolics, testosterone, and they still look like shit. Why? Don't get good sleep, poor stress management, dog shit nutrition, don't have a program, don't really train hard, right? Julian, what's up, brother? Talking about how steroids don't fix you. I use cats out of the bag. This is another thing. There's a lot of influencers and coaches in the space that aren't honest. They lie to you. You know how many fake naturals there are out there that, you know, if somebody puts in their bio natural, are you really natural if you have to say it? Interesting. But then what's going to happen is they're going to post the reel, post their workouts, and like, hey, here's my program if you want to look like me. And that's where I'm different. I'm objective. I'm like, hey, here's what could work for you. This is what I think makes sense for you. I don't prescribe anything to any of my clients. Just not how it works. Russo, been there, done it, not mentally ready to start back up or in the right mindset of discipline to do it right now would be pointless. Just a big giant ball of mass. Are you saying you were a big giant ball of mass and maybe you're not mentally in a position to take that? Because this is also another point. Roid rage is a myth. Let me explain. Steroids using anabolics will only heighten who you really are. So, because I've had these conversations with my coach as well, people think that, oh, well, if I take steroids, I'm going to be really angry. I'm going to be really irritable, right? But the reality is it only heightens who you are. So naturally, deep down, if you're somebody who is angry and bitter and resentful and just mad at the world, then yes, more of that will come out and surface when you use. Because through my own healing journey of revisiting my past, working through my traumas, and doing all that with my current mentor and coach right now, I've healed parts of me where I no longer react the same way as where I have in the past, where I originally was blaming the substance, because that's what's very easy to do in today's world, right? Is to blame the external circumstance, the substance, the weather, the government, your boss, the traffic. It's so easy to point the finger at someone else or something else. But it's difficult and challenging sometimes for us to take responsibility and ownership for our own things, right? Like if we're just being honest, we're being objective, how good is your training, nutrition, sleep, stress, lifestyle factors? There's a lot to take into consideration there. Even inside of just one pillar of nutrition, you have your quality of foods, your consistency, the macros, the balance, the non-grass-fed organic beef. You know, I'm just fucking around. Grass-fed beef is killer, though. You should definitely eat that. But you get what I'm saying there. In each one of those buckets, there's a bunch of subcategories. And this is why it fascinates me that, again, going back to the original example, thinking that just taking this stuff is going to solve all of your problems. If anything, it could actually just cause more issues. You got to think the needles, the potential infections. I got an infection. It's not a lot of fun at all. It's really fucking painful, actually. So you have that. You have the back knee. You have a bunch of other shit that comes along with it. So it's a conversation that I think more people need to be having, especially in the fitness space. I mean, honestly, like, it sucks because I think the industry has become so sour as far as the way things are being communicated, how much information is there. Like, I understand how you guys feel. It's exhausting. It's frustrating to hear all these conflicting opinions, right? And that's what I'm trying to be here, is just be open and honest about my experience and share that, right? I was completely fucking around, Georgina, over there on TikTok. Because if it's not grass-fed, what do you feed the beef? I understand that. That was the joke. I was just having a good time. Instead of using it for something else, I'm just scrolling through your comments here. Why point the finger? I agree with you. Yeah, so I was just completely fucking around. Obviously, you would have to feed the cow grass for the cow to grow. That was the purpose of the joke. Don't stop me now, walking pad. Yeah, if you guys don't have a walking pad, you're fucking up if you work from home. But does that make sense? Do you guys have specific questions on anabolics? You could feed it chicken nuggets, Georgina, but then there would probably be some shitty quality beef, wouldn't it? I personally wouldn't eat that. Maddie, what's up, big dog? How are you, brother? You like the shirt, man? We're feeling good. Had a really awesome chest workout this morning with my coach. We're less than 13 weeks out from the next show, which is crazy. Time is flying. But we're getting tighter. We're feeling good. I made a prep update. So I'm actually starting a series just to pivot a little bit. Over the next 13 weeks, leading up to my show, I'm going to be documenting more of the process and really showing you guys and updating you guys on the journey itself. So, because I wish that the last time I did this, I did that. So now going into it with a different frame of mind, that's what I'm going to be doing. Also, I'm hiring a new videographer that I'm going to be shooting with for the first time next week. So we're going to be bringing back the YouTube. Now, the reason, if you followed me for a little bit, the reason I paused the YouTube for a bit, my girlfriend's Canadian. She just got her visa so she could live here legally. But back in April, her visa wasn't approved. So we had to leave the country. She couldn't legally be here. So I had to spend about a month in Mexico, which I wasn't thrilled about, but we made the most of it, you know, and then we were able to come back. But the reason that I'm sharing that is because once we took that month in Mexico, my videographer that I was working with at the time, he was like, hey, like, you know, I gotta do something to make money. It's like, dude, totally understand. So he moved on. So now I'm working with a new videographer that I'm shooting with next week, and I'm sharing that because I'm documenting my entire prep this time, which I'm super excited for, including my show days. I booked him in. He's going to be there on my show day, for Kim's show day, for Daquan's show day, potentially Max as well. Right now we have 5 athletes competing under the brand, potentially 6 if Matty Boy pulls through on our next call. We'll talk about it again. Sammy, what's up? Tommy, what's going on? I bet the steak will be extra delicious with the flavor. Yep. So this is the reality. And I just ranted for like 20 minutes on that, the whole steroid side of things. Excuse me. Because I don't know, man. I'm just like really fed up and tired of all the bullshit and the noise going on in space. And if you didn't see my story, go ahead and check it out. I just posted it earlier before. But I'm just like really getting to a place where there's just so many people who will just start posting online and posting a bunch of bullshit and really have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And it sucks. Now, listen, I'm not saying I have every single answer or I'm a doctor with a PhD, because that's not the case either, but I'm actively learning every single day. I have a coach taking a course. I'm reading. Not only do I have a coach who does all my training, diet, supplementation, all of that, but I also have an in-person trainer that I train with in person who beats the shit out of my body all the time. So you can't come to me and try to argue that I'm not walking the walk, because one, I'm on this fucking walking pad right now talking to you guys, doing my cardio for my show, right? So it's just like, where is the information you're getting coming from? Like, who are you listening to? So that could be a question that I could give you guys. Is some of the better people in the space that I personally pay attention to, Jeff Nippard, really good, like science, evidence-based guy. Lane Norton, as far as nutrition goes. Huberman is really dry, but he has some really good information. So you could go on YouTube, listen to that. I think the Huberman podcast is a really in-depth, detailed, information-based podcast that you could learn a lot from. Mind Pump podcast is where I spent a lot of time when I was first starting a few years ago. Mind Pump's really good as far as like overall training stuff. So is Renaissance Periodization with Dr. Mike Israel. Those are like some of the big names that jump out to me as far as that. So if you want to go listen to some really good information, that's what I would say over there. But I already ranted on the whole spiel. So unless you guys have other questions, I'm going to go jump because I got another call coming up in a couple minutes. But I'll give you guys some space here over on Instagram. If Sammy, Tommy, Matt, or Joy, not sure if you're still here, or any of you guys have any questions on, excuse me, I just ate, so I'm like trying to walk after I ate. Doing a lot of cardio, so. Oh, Isaac's still here. Thank you, brother. Yeah, man, I got you. I'm just tired of hearing all these people be burned by these coaches, you know, who just give out fucking cookie cutter plans and don't communicate and don't check in. I've heard horror stories of people paying, you know, thousands of dollars and not hearing back from their coach within weeks. You know, like, I don't want to name names, but it's become a problem in the industry, and that's what we're here to resolve, is to not only do that, but also go a layer deeper. And I'm really excited. Joy, the call that we have tonight is going to be fucking awesome. And that's the thing. You know, inside of our program, we host calls as well, like not just on the fitness stuff, because you could be in the best shape, but it doesn't stop there. And that's the problem. I think a lot of us, you know, myself included, when I first got into the gym, I really just wanted to get abs because I thought that it would make me feel a certain way, or it would give me a certain status of acquiring females. Like, it sounds shitty, but, you know, when you're 17 in high school, all you really care about is like going out and girls and all that shit. You know, obviously a lot's changed over the last 10 years, but that's how I started my fitness journey originally, was just to get the result. And then you get the result only to realize that it doesn't really make you feel the way you thought it was going to make you feel. And it's interesting to think about that as well. You know, so just some food for thought for you guys here today, because maybe you're on a fitness journey, you're in a gym, and you think that a certain type of physique and body will really solve it, but it's not. We have to go a layer deeper. And that's probably a different conversation for another day. So I'm going to cut it here. I appreciate you guys, and I will chat with you soon. For my clients, see you guys on the call. Much love. Peace.